Hello everyone, welcome to my video on an important Python Tkinter project. In this video, we will write a program for library management system using MySQL database to manipulate our data. So first, you have to set up MySQL database in your system with MySQL Workbench. And then you have to open Workbench. So here I will open Workbench. So this is MySQL Workbench. So it will be opened after a small while, and then we will able to connect with database, and we can create some tables and columns. So here this is our MySQL workbench, and then here I will click on local instance MySQL, and then here you have to enter your password. So I am entering my password, and then I will click OK. So next we have to create a database. So here you have to write query create database, and you can give any name to your database, like I can give name library. Okay, library, and then you will click this execute button, and your database with name library will be created. But I have already a database, so I will not create this. So I have to connect with that existing database. Connect to database. Here you will click or expand this option database, and then connect to database. So here you have to provide name of your database, and name of my database is record, and in short rec. I will click OK, and here my database is connected successfully. And here we have to create our table by using this query create table. So first we have to create a table for our library. Okay, so this is our library, and here I will create some columns inside this table. So here first I will use book id. Okay, book id, and its type should you can use varchar or string type, but I will use int. Okay, and here I will assign size 5, and then I will set it primary key. Okay, primary key. So next I have to set book name. Okay, book name or b name. So this is second column, and its type is varchar, and next I have to assign the size. So here I will give value 10, and next I have to create one more column. Okay, so this is quantity. For example, we have English book, then we have to define total quantity of that English book. Okay, so here I will use quant. Okay, and its type is int, and its size is 5. And now this table will be created when we will execute the query. So here I will click this execute. So now our table is created successfully. Now we have to insert some books. So here I will use insert query, insert into lib. Okay, and then I have to define columns. So first is book id, and second is B name, book name, third is quant. Okay, so these are three columns for library. Okay, so we have to insert values. So here I will use values, and now I have to insert values. The first book ID is 101, book name English. Okay, English, sorry, and then here I have to set quantity, so I will add 10. Okay, so I have to execute this query, but here you can see this is an error because here I have to use semicolon. Okay, so now I will select it once again, and then I will execute the query. So now one row is inserted successfully. So next I will add one more book. Okay, 102, and name I will change the name. Okay, here I will use physics. You can use novel names and others. Okay, 6, and its quantity is also 10. Okay, I will select it, and then I will execute the query. So this book is also added in our library. So here I will add 103, book name computer, okay, and its quantity is 5. Okay, I will execute this and then I will execute it. So here this row is also inserted. So I will add one more book. We have added 3 books. So this is 104 and book is networking or programming. Okay, programming. And then here you can see this I will add 15 books. Now I will select it and then I will execute the query. So I have some problem. This is an error because we are inserting a long value. So its size is 10 only, but here we have 11 characters. That's why we cannot add this book with name programming. So here I will add math. Okay. So now I will select and now I will execute it once again. So this is also inserted. Now we have 4 types of books with different quantities. So these books are inserted successfully. Okay. Now I have to create one more table. So create table info because we have to get information about a student or we have to register student. Okay, so this is register and here I have to create columns. Okay, roll number and then its type should int. You can use different type. So here I will give value 5, size 5, and it is also primary key. And then I have to define another column. So this is name. This is student. Okay, student name, and its type is varchar, and I will set size 50. And next, here I have to use comma, and then I will set category of student. Okay, or you can say subject. Okay, subject of student, subject or simple sub. Okay, and its type should varchar and here I will add 50. Okay, so now here I have to use semicolon. Okay, so here you can see this is roll number and student name and subject. Okay, so here I can say that we have to display books those are reserved from this student. Okay, so here I will use one more column name. Okay, so here I have to use parenthesis and then here I have to find another column name with containing books or total books. Okay, so here I can use total. Okay, total host type is int and size is 5. Okay, so now I have to select this query and then I will execute it. Okay, so I have selected it. Now I will execute it. So now this is created successfully. Now when we have to get information of a student, then we have to add this info. We have to insert students in this table. Okay, so I will minimize it. Now we have 2 tables. First with name lib and second with name reg or registered. Okay, now I have to start my Python code. So I will open a folder or if you have not already any empty folder, then you can create any folder anywhere inside your computer. So here I have a folder with name Python projects. Okay, where I save my projects. Okay, so here I have to open command prompt. So in this address bar I will type cmd. Okay, so now I have to open vs code. So I will enter command code space dot and then I will click enter key from my keyboard. So here you can see vs code is opened successfully. I will close this existing file. Okay, so don't save and then after this I create new file. So first I will see that how many files are existing in my this folder. Okay, so it's taking time. Now here you can see these are our Python files in our Python project folder. So next I have to create new file. So I will click here new file. Okay. So here I will add a library. Okay. Library.python. Py is extension for Python. I will click enter key and then I will hide it. So this is our new file. So here I have to start writing Python code. Okay. So here I will start class. So here I have to define class. So this is our library class. Okay. And next I will use colon, and then here I have to define a constructor for this class. So we can define in this way double underscore in it or initiate double underscore, and here I have to pass two arguments. One is self and second root. You can use different name. I mean you can use any other uh, instead of this. Okay. So here I will use colon, and then here I have to uh, initialize this root. Okay. So I will use self dot root, and I will initialize it with root. Okay. So next I have to create some one object. Okay. So here I will use root and then tk. Now what is this tk? Because this is error because we have not imported tk. So here tk inter. So here I have to import tk inter, okay, as tk. Okay. So this is an alias. Okay. So here I am using this. So if here you use any other character, for example you use here t, then here also you have to use t, but I will use tk. So that's why here also I have to use tk dot. So now here I have to access tk. Okay. So now I have to create an object. So object, and for class library, and here I will pass root as argument, and then I will access main loop root dot main loop. Okay. So this main loop is used to manipulate all the events in our project. Okay. So now I have to set a title. So here I will set self. Okay. Self dot root dot title. Okay. And here I will give value library management. Okay. Now I will save it and then I will execute the project. So after a small while you will able to see output. Okay. So now after some time, here is our output. Okay. So this is our root window, but its size is very small. Okay. And if I maximize it, then here you can see library management. And now you can change the size, and also you can change background color of this root window. Okay. So first let's go to change root window background. Okay. So how can we do this? We can use a self dot root dot configure. Okay. Configure, and here we will use background color, and here we can use background color. For example, if you want to set light gray. Okay. Then you can see I will save it, and then here I will execute it, and you can see its background color is changed. Okay. Now this is light gray. I will close it, and also I will close the terminal. Now as you know that root windows size was very small, so now we have to set its size according to the device width and height. Okay. So now first we have to get width of our screen. So here I will declare a variable self dot. This is a global variable. That's why I am using self, because I have to use this variable in different places inside different uh, functions. Okay. Self dot width. Okay. And here I have to get width of my device. Okay, so here self dot root dot w info. This w info means widget information. It will return us information about any specific widget. Okay, so we have to get information of width of our screen. So here I will use a screen width. Okay, and then in this way, this function will return us width of our screen, and we will assign this width to this variable. Okay, so in the same way, we have to get height. Self dot height, sorry, height. This is variable, and self dot root dot w info underscore screen height. Okay, so in this way we are getting height and width of our screen, and next we have to set it by using geometry method. Okay, self dot root dot geometry. Okay, geometry, and then here I have to use formatted string. This formatted string can carry value of any variable and string value. Okay, so here I have to use uh, variable value. So here I will use pair of curly braces and then self dot width. This is variable name. Okay, that contains width of my screen, and then I have to use here cross sign. Okay, sorry, inside formatted. So next I have to get height. So here I will use self dot height. Okay, so next we have to start from first row and first column of first. Okay, so now I will save it and then I will execute it. So next you can see this is our output. Okay, so its size is according to width and height of my screen, and also I have changed background color of this root window. I will close it, and also I will close this terminal. So I will go next, and here I have to set a label for title. So label, okay, label, and here I will use tk dot label. The label is widget of Tkinter. That's why here I am using tk to access this widget from Tkinter. So tk dot label, and here we have to set this label inside our self root window. Okay, and we have to set its background color. So now we are using some specific colors, for example sky blue and red, green, brown only. But if you want to use large number of different colors, then you should create a function. Okay, so here I will define a function, then I will tell you a trick to use hundreds of or thousands of colors. Okay, in a simple and easy way. So here I will define a function def color. Okay, CLR. Okay, you can use any other name for your function, and here I will pass some arguments. First is self, and second is R for red. Okay, green, G for green, and B for blue. Okay, and then I will start here return. It will return us a formatted string. So here I will use f. Okay, and then here I have to use pair of curly braces, but first here I have to use hash. Okay, okay, or sharp sign. So we are going to use hexadecimal. Okay, so here I have to use R for red. Okay, and 2x, and then here I have to use G. Okay, G02x, and then for blue here I will use B02x. Okay, so this function will return us these uh, values. Okay, or this statement that contains these hexadecimal colors. Okay, now I will use this. So here for background color, where is our title label? Okay, here I have to use bg property. Okay, and then I will call this function that is self dot color. Okay, self dot color, and here I will enter values. For example, this is for red 200. Okay, and then for green I will use 100, and for blue I will use 120. Okay, so this will background color, and in this way you can use multiple colors or a long range of colors. Okay, so next, here you can use a large range of different colors by using this function. This is very easy. So this first number is for red color, this second is for green color, and this third one is for blue color. Okay, and now I have to set border by using BD property, and then I will give value 4. Okay, so this is border, and then I have to use a style by using a relief property for our border. So I will use groove, and next I have to use here and other style. For example, I have to set text. Okay, so here I will use text property, and I will give value name of project, that is library. Okay, management. So this is our library management. Now I have to apply some styles to our fonts. So here I will use font property, and I will pass some values in a tuple. So first I will choose font family, that is Arial, and then I have to set font size, that is 50 pixels, and then I have to set it bold. And now you can use different properties, and then you can assign different values to these properties. So this is our label. Now we have to adjust its position. So I will use here label dot pack. Here I am using pack method because I have to define the size of this label. So here I will use side property, and then I will set it in the top. Okay, and now I will save it. Okay, and then, or I can also use its foreground color, I mean font color. Okay, because we are not using uh, font color, so here I have to use fg property, and I will give value white. Okay, you can use different color, or also you can use this function to set any color. Okay, so here I will use white, and then I will use comma to separate it, and I will save it. Then I will execute the project to show you output. So here you can see this is our background color. So you can change this background color multiple times. So, and also we have to set it or we have to fill it horizontally or in x-axis. Okay, so its size is very small, and we have to fill it horizontally. So how can we fill it? We will use here a fill property. So I will use fill, and we have to fill it horizontally. Okay, that's why I am using X. But now we have to change background color. Okay, so I will increase this value. Okay, 180. You can change any other value, but I am increasing value of this blue color. Okay, and I will execute it, and now you will see that our background color is changed. Okay, so in the same way you have to change pixels, and then your background color will be changed. Okay, so I will close it, and I will close the terminal also, and here we have to create a frame. So on the next line, here I have to create a frame. Okay, that is our input frame. So here I will comment out it input frame. Okay, sorry, input frame, and I will go to next line, and here I will create a frame. So this is our in frame. Okay, so we have to access this widget by using tk dot frame, and then here I have to create this frame inside our root window self dot root, and then after this I have to uh, set its background color by using bg property, and here I will use same function, that is our color function. Okay, and here I will use different color. For example, now I will use 150 for red, okay, and 200 for green, and 150 for blue, okay. And then here I have to set its border by using BD property, and I will assign value 4, and then I will set style for border, okay, by using relief property, and I will use redich. And this is enough. This is our background color, this is our border size, and this is our border style. Now we have to set its position by using place method, okay, in frame dot place. This place method is also used to set position of a widget. So here I have to define width of this frame. Okay, I will use width property. Okay, and as you know that we have total width of our screen in our this variable. Okay, for example, uh, size or width of our screen is 1000, then this variable contains 1000, and now we have to create a frame inside this root window or in this screen. Okay, then we have to change size. So how can we change? We will for example, we have to get third of total size of our window, sorry, screen. Okay, so how can we get it? Here I will use self dot width. Okay, self dot width, and if I will divide it by 2, then it will return us half width of total screen. Okay, and then we have to get height. So here I have to use height property, and as you know that we have height of our screen in our this self dot height variable. So I will use it self dot height. Okay, so this is total height of our screen. Okay, now I have to decrease some pixels from total height. So I will decrease 180. That's why I am using self dot height minus 180. Okay, so now I have to set padding. So here I will use X for horizontal padding, and here I will enter value 50. Okay, and then I will use Y for vertical padding, and here I will assign value 100. Okay, and now I will save it, and then I will execute it. So now you can see this is our output. Now here, because our value for green color was maximum, that's why here green color is maximum. If you will increase red color, then here you can see different shades of red color, and other if you increase blue value, then here you will see different shades of blue color. Okay, so I will change it. For example, here I try to change this value. Okay, here this is our value, and here I will use here I will use 220. Okay, so now I will save it, and then our frame color will be changed. Okay, so now this is our frame color, and even if you want to change it once again, then you can do this by increasing or decreasing values in different colors. Okay, so here I will decrease green color. Okay, I will set it 100. Okay, and then I will save it, and now I will execute it, and now this is our out. Okay, so now this is half of our half width of our screen. Okay, now I have to decrease it some more. I will close it, and now I will close it also, and then I will divide this total width of our screen by 3. Okay, and now our screen, sorry, frame size is also changed. Okay, so this is changed, and now I will close it, and then I will close it also, and here you can also use static value. For example, you can use here 500 or 300. Okay, then save it and then execute it. Okay, so now you can see this is 300 width. Okay, so you can apply both methods, but I think best one is this method that we have used by using self dot width multiplied by 3. Okay, so this is our input frame, and now we have to create some widgets inside this frame. Okay, so first we have to create a button to register a student, second button to reserve a book, and third button to return a book. Okay, so here I will create button. So this is registration button, reg button, and then here I will use tk dot button. Okay, and then I have to create this button inside our in frame. So this is our in frame. Okay, and then here I have to use text for this button. So I will use text property, and this is register student. Okay, register student, and here we can change background color. So here I will use bg property, and simply here I will give light green or light gray. So I will use light green. Okay, this is background color, and then I will use comma, and then I will use border. Okay, and here I will apply only two. Okay, and then here I will use font property to set font style for this button, and here I will use Arial, and then here I will use uh, for size of font I will use 15, and I will set it bold. Okay, and then I will go outside the this button, and here I have to define, sorry, here I have to define width of this button. So here I will use width, and then I will assign value 20. And now I will go to next line, and here I will use grid layout to set position of this button. Okay, so here our name of button is registration button dot grid. Okay, and we have to set row number and column number for this button. So row property, and we will use value 0. I mean first row and first column. Okay, column 0, and then padding, pad x for horizontal padding I will give value 20. Okay, and for vertical padding I will use pad y, and I will give value 20 or 40. Okay, so now I will save it, and then I will execute the project to show you output. Now this is our registration register student button, but I have to set it in the center of this frame. So I will close it, and then I will change value of pad x. So here I will use 60. Okay, and then I will show you output, because we have to adjust it in the center, but still I have to increase. So I will increase 20 more values, and I will set 80. Okay, here I will set 80, and then I will save it, because we have to confirm that is this button in the center. Yes, of course, now this is in the center. So I will close it. Okay, and then I will close the terminal. Now I have to create one more button. Okay, so I will go to next line, and here I will define second button. So this is a reserve book. Okay, a reserve button, and we have to create button by using tk dot button. Okay, and then we have to create this button inside our in frame. So I will copy all these properties with their value. Okay, so I will copy all this, and then I will paste it right here. Okay, but I have to change text value. Okay, so here I have to set reserve book. Okay, so here reserve book, sorry, reserve book, and then I have to set its position by using grid layout. Okay, I will go to next line, and here I have to set layout. by using res button or reserve button. Okay, reserve button dot grid. Okay, now we have to create this button in our second row. I will change row number here, and then I have to create it in our first column, and then I have to set the padding for x-axis. I will give value 80, and then padding for y-axis I will give value 40. Okay, so this is our second button. Now we have to create one more button, that is this was reserve button, and now return button. Okay, return button, and here I will use tk dot button. Okay, and then I will paste here all these properties with their values. Okay, and now I have to change text value. Okay, so this is a return book. Okay, previous was a reserve book. This is for return, sorry, return book. Okay, so these are our three buttons. Now I have to set layout for this. Okay, and then I will use here ET button, I mean return button dot grade. Okay, sorry, not return, return button dot grid. I have to use grid layout, and here I have to define third row number and first column of third row number and pad x80 and pad y40. Okay, there I will give value 40, and now I will save it, and then I will execute the project to show you output. Now these are our three buttons, but I have to increase padding for y-axis to set them in the center. So here I will increase values. Okay, also I will close it, and here I think I should increase value here. I will set 80, and then I will save it, and now I will execute it. So now here you can see this is our output, and then I will close it, and here I will also increase the value of this button, reserve button. Okay, I will enter 60, I will save it, and then also here I will use 60. Okay, you can assign values according to your requirement. I will execute it, and now I think this is perfect. Okay, this is in the center. So this is our register student button. This is reserve book student, sorry, reserve book button, and this is return book button. Okay, so now here we have to create one more frame. Okay, that will contain information about books. Okay, so I will close it. Also I will close the terminal, and here I have to create one more frame. Okay, so here this is our output frame or list frame. So here I will use self. I am using self because I have to use this frame inside different functions. That's why I am using self. If you have not to use this frame inside any other function, then you do not need for this self. Okay, self dot here I have to use a list frame. Okay, list frame, and here I have to create a frame by using tk.frame, and here I have to create this frame inside our root window self.root. Okay, and then I will set background color by using, but first I will use bd property. Okay, and here I will use 4, and then I will set style by using relief property, and I will set style groove. Okay, and next I have to use bg property for background color, and here I will call function that is self dot color. Okay, and here I will use color. So now I will increase blue color. So here I will set 120 for red, 120 for green, and 200 for blue. Okay, so I will save it. Sorry, but first I have to set its position. Okay, self dot list frame. Okay, list frame dot place. Now I have to place it. Okay, and I have to place first I have to set its width. Okay, now I have to set width half of total width of our screen. So here I will use self dot width. Okay, and I will divide it by 2 to get half size of our screen. Okay, then here I will use height and self dot height. Okay, I will multiply, sorry, I will decrease 180 pixels from total height of our screen, and then here I have to use X for horizontal padding, and I will give value 50, and here I will use Y for vertical padding, and also here I will give value 100. Okay, and now I will call this function here. Okay, sorry, here I have to define a function, but I think we do not need to define function. Still I will use this frame only. I will save it and then I will execute it. Okay, so now you can see this frame. Okay, sorry, here you can see this frame was overlapped, so I have to change the place. Okay, I will close it, and also I will close this. Okay, and then here I will use, this is our total width. Okay, sorry, here this is padding, that is only 50, but we have to use here total width of our frame, because first we have to set a gap according to the width of our input frame. So here I have to use self dot width. Now this is total width, and I will divide it by 3, and then I will minimize 50. Okay, sorry, I have not to minimize, I have to add 50. Okay, so now I will save it and then I will execute it. Okay, so now you can see this is our output, but now I have to increase some more pixels for access in our this list frame. Okay, I will close it, and then here I will add 100 instead of 50. Okay, so I will save it and now I will execute it, and here you can see this is our output, but I want to add some more pixels with both of these frames. Okay, to set them in the center of our screen. So here I will close it and then I will close it also, and here I will add 3, I mean 130, and also in our first frame, that is input frame, I will add 30. Okay, so here I will set 80. So now I should change background color for this frame, that is our list frame. So here I will change background color. So only I have to change the pixels. Okay, I will increase green color. Okay, here I will set 220 and I will decrease it. Okay, and I will save it and then I will execute the project, and now this is our output. Now this is looking very beautiful with this contrast. Okay, so this is a different color, this is different color, and also this is another color. Okay, so you can use different color, even you can use thousands of color by using this function, this color function. Okay, so now we have to insert all the books in this frame by using a table. So first we have to create a table. I will close it. Okay, and now I will create a function to create table. Okay, so here I will define another function by using def keyword. Okay, def, I will use function for tab frame. Okay, but first we have to create function. So this is tab function, and then I will pass self as an argument, and here I have to create one more frame inside this list frame. Okay, so here I will use tab frame. Okay, tab frame, and then I will create frame tk dot frame, and I will create frame inside our list frames self dot. Now you can see I am using this list frame inside other function. Okay, if we are not using self, then we cannot use this frame inside this function. Okay, so here self dot list frame. Okay, and then I will use border property. I will define border 4, and I will use relief property. I will assign value sunken, and then I will use bg color, okay, background property, and here I will call the function that is our color function CLR, and here I can use any color. So here we are trying to to create a combination for color. So now I will increase red color. So here I will increase to 20, and then I will use 100 for green and 110 for blue. Okay, you can use random values and then you can get a different color for background. Okay, so here I think this is enough. Okay, and now I will go to next line. Okay, so here I have to use tab frame dot place. Okay, I have to use place method, or even I can use pack method, or even I can use grid layout, but I will use place method, and here I will get width. Okay, now I have to set width of this tab frame. So here I have this width for our frame, that is our list frame. So this is width for our list frame. Okay, so I will use this. Okay, self dot width multiplied by 2. Okay, so this is width according to this list frame. Okay, but we have to decrease some size of this tab frame from this. So I will minimize some pixels from this value. Okay, in fact this is returning us a value, and here we are going to decrease uh, in this value. Okay, so here I will use, this is 20, here I will use 100. Okay, now I will use height, and here I will use height as self, okay, dot height, and then I will minimize uh, for 1 or 220 pixels. Okay, so now I am increasing 220 from total height of our screen. Okay, and now I have to set padding. So here I will set x, okay, x property, and then I will give value 80 or 7. Okay, for x-axis, or I think I should give 50 for horizontal padding, and then 70 for vertical padding. Okay, you can adjust these values according to your requirement. Okay, now I want to see this frame inside this frame, so I have to call this function here. Okay, I will call it here, and then I will call this function that is self dot tab function. Okay, and then I will save it, and now I will execute it. So now you can see this is our output, but I think its height is some large, so I will decrease the height and will increase width. Okay, so we have to decrease height and we have to increase width. So I will close it, and also I will close it. Okay, so now here this is our width. Here I will use 60. Okay, 60, and sorry, not 600, we have to use 60, and also I have to decrease this padding. So here I will use 30, and here I have to decrease the height. So here I will use 240. Okay, and then I will save it, and now I will execute it. Okay, so now still its height is very large, but its width is enough, so we have to decrease the height. Okay, so here I will decrease it. I will use 280, and then I will save it, and now I will execute it once again, and here now this is perfect. Okay, so this is our tab frame. This was our list frame. This is our tab frame. Sorry, this is our, yes, this is our list frame, and this is our input frame. Okay, so now this is our beautiful output. Okay, so this is user interface, and here we have to create a table and some scroll bars. First scroll bar for x-axis and one scroll bar for vertical. Okay, so I will close it, and then I will close it also. And here we have to create a scroll bar first inside this tab frame. Okay, so first we have to create scroll bar for horizontal. Okay, x scroll, and then I have to create a scroll bar. Okay, so here tk dot scroll bar. Okay, and we have to create it inside our tab frame. Okay, and here we have to use orient. Okay, sorry, not or, orient, and we have to use x, sorry, sorry, here I have to use horizontal. Okay, and then we have to pack it. So I will use x scroll dot pack. Now we have to pack it in the bottom of our the tab frame. Okay, so here I will use set side. Okay, and I will choose bottom. So here this is bottom, and then I have to fill it horizontal. So I have to fill it in x-axis. Okay, now I have to create one more scroll bar for vertical. So here I will use y underscore scroll. Okay, and then tk dot scroll bar. Okay, and then we have to create this in our tab frame. Okay, and then we have to use orient property, and we have to enter value vertical. Okay, and then we have to use pack method for this scroll bar y underscore scroll dot pack. Okay, and then here I have to set side property with value right. Okay, and here I have to use fill property, and we have to fill it in y-axis. Okay, now I will save it, and then I will execute the project to show you output. So now this is our scroll bar. Okay, this is our scroll bar, and this is our scroll bar in y-axis. Okay, so I will close it, and now we have to create a table. Okay, so next I have to create table. So here self dot table, this is variable name. Now we have to create table by using ttk. So now you can see this is an error because we have to import this ttk from tkinter. Okay, so from tkinter import ttk. Okay, now we can use this ttk. Okay, and now we can access tree view. This is tree view, and we have to create it inside our this tab frame. Okay, tab frame, and then here I have to use columns. Okay, so here I have to use column property, and then we have to create some column. First book id bid. Okay, but I have to use pair of double comma, and then bid, and then I have to use here book name. Okay, b name, and then we have to use quantity. Okay, quant. Okay, these are our columns names. Okay, and then here we have to use, and we have passed these values in tuple. Okay, when we are adding or inserting more than one value for a single property, then we have to pass these values in tuple. Okay, and now here I have to use comma, and then I have to use x scroll command, and here we have to use x scroll dot set. Sorry, not clear. Scroll dot set. Okay, and then I have to use y scroll command, and here we have to use y dot set. Okay, so now I have to set it. Okay, but first I have to set headings for these columns. Okay, these are columns names, but now we are going to set headings or titles for these columns, or you can say that we have to set text properties. Okay, so here we have to use but first we will configure these x-axis and y-axis, sorry, x scroll bar and y scroll bar. Okay, so first we have to configure x scroll bar dot config. Okay, config, and then we have to configure it by using command property, and we have to configure it with tab frame. Okay, sorry, with table self dot table. Okay, self dot table dot x view. Okay, so now it will show us x view, and now we have to configure, sorry, now we have to configure our uh, vertical scroll bar. Okay, by scroll, and then dot configure, and then here I have to use command property, and then self dot table. Okay, dot by view. Okay, so now we have configured it, and then I will go to next line. Now I have to set headings for these column names. Okay, so here I have to use self dot table dot heading. Okay, and then for first column, that is bid. Okay, and we have to use text property, and we will set book id. Okay, book underscore id, and then I will go to next line, and here I will use self dot table dot heading. Okay, then here I have to use b name. Okay, b name, and here I have to use text property once again, and then here I have to use book name. Okay, I will use here underscore, and then for next column I have to set once again a title or heading. Okay, self dot table. Okay, dot heading, and then here I will use this was quantity. Okay, quant. Okay, and I have to set text for this column. Okay, quantity. So these are three columns, and we have set headings for these three columns. Now we have to set gap for these three columns, or we have to set space for these three columns. So here I have to use self, okay, dot table dot column. Okay, so sorry, table dot column. So here I have to use first where name of column, that is bid, and we have to set width for this column by using width property, and now I will set 150 or 160. Okay, even I can add 170. You can use value according to your need or requirement. Okay, and self dot table and dot column. Okay, and then here I will use the name, and here I will use with property, and then I will give value 170, and then self dot table. Okay, dot column, and then here I have to use third column, that is quant, and then I have to use with property, and here I will use 170. Okay, so now we have to pack this frame or table. Okay, sorry, I have to pack this table. So self dot table dot pack. Okay, so we have to pack it, and then I have to use fill property. Okay, fill, and we have to fill in both sides, and then I have to use expand property, and I will give value 1. So I will save it, and then I will execute it. So now you can see this is our table. Okay, So this is our table. And here you can see this is our book ID column. This is book name column. And next is quantity column. But here this first one is empty column. So we have to hide it. I will close it and also I will close it. Okay. Now I have to hide this empty column. So here I have to use self dot table. Okay. Dot. Sorry, not dot. Square bracket. And here we have to use show and we have to show only headings. Okay. Headings. Then now you will able to see that our empty column is removed. Okay, so now this is our column property. So next we have to make functional our first button, that is registration button. Okay, so here I have to define one more function by using def keyword, and here I have to register student. So this is register function. Okay, registration function and self as a parameter. Okay, so now we have to create a frame. Now we are going to create new frame. Okay, so here I have to create a simple frame. So this is registration frame. Okay, registration frame, and here I have to use, I should use self-weighted, okay, because we have to use this frame in any other function. So self dot registration frame and tk dot frame, okay, and here we have to use a pair of parentheses, and we have to create this frame inside our root window. Okay, self dot root, and we have to set its border by using bd property, and we have to use uh, 3 value. Okay, and then we have to set uh, relief property for applying style to this border, and I will use a read ditch. Okay, and then I have to use bg property. Okay, bg, and here I will call function that is self dot color. Okay, self dot color, and here I have to pass some values, and now I want to apply a new or different color. So I will use 150, 150 and 150. Okay, so this is background color, and then here I have to use self dot place. Okay, place, sorry, not self, self dot registration frame dot place. Okay, and here we have to use width property, and then we have to set its size third of total width of our screen. Okay, self dot width, this is total width of our screen, and I have to divide it by 3. Okay, and now here I have to set height. Okay, I will set height. First, I will get height, total height of our screen. So self dot height, okay, dot minus 180. And now we have to use padding. So here I will use X for horizontal padding, and here I will give value. First, I will get total size of this frame. Okay, self dot width. Okay, I will multiply it by 3, and then I will add, or I think, yes, I will add 50 or 80. Okay, so here I have to see where is our first frame, that is our input frame. Okay, in frame, and it's is plus 80. Okay, here we have to use plus 80. So here, yes, okay, it is enough. It is plus 80, and then for vertical, I have to use here 100. Okay, and now we have to create some labels and input fields inside this registration frame. Okay, so here I will use self. Yes, now I do not need for self in label. Okay, so here I will use this is our roll number label. Okay, rn label. Now we have to create a label by using tk dot label. Okay, and then we have to create this label in our registration frame, self dot registration frame. Okay, and now we have to set its background color according to background color of this registration frame. Okay, so here I will use bg property, and here I will call the function color. Okay, self dot color, and then I will use 150. Okay, and 150 and 150. Okay, and now I have to use a text value. Okay, so here I have to set text. So roll number, we have to get a roll number of student. Okay, roll number, and then here I have to use font size by using font property, or even I can change font color, but I think I have to use by default background color, that is black. Okay, so now I have to use font property, and here I have to pass values in tuple. I will use Arial. You can use any other font family, and then here you have to use size. So I will set size 15. Okay, and then I will set it bold. So this is our label. Okay, that contains a background color, and here I have set a text, and I am creating it inside our registration frame, and then this is its font style. Now I have to use grid layout rn label dot grid. Okay, and then here we have to use uh, row property. I have to create this label in first row and in first column of first row. Okay, and then I have to set padding. So here I will enter value 20, and then I have to set padding for y-axis. So here I will set value 30. Okay, and now I have to create one input field. Okay, so here I have to create input field. So now I have to use self. Okay, self dot rn in. I mean roll number in, and here I have to create input field by using tk dot entry. So this is entry widget that is used as a input field, and we have to create it inside our self dot registration frame. Okay, self dot have we any problem? Self dot frame name is registration frame. Okay, and then here we have to use border. We can use border. So I will give a small value, only one. Okay, and then here I have to set font property, sorry, font font, and here I have to pass tuple. I will pass values. First I will use Arial, then I will set 15, and then I will set it bold. Okay, and then I have to set the width of this widget. So I have to use width property, and then I will give value 20. Okay, and now we have to set layout. So here self dot roll number in. Okay, dot grid, and then here I have to use row number. So here I will use first row and second column. Now we are going to use second column, and pad x is 10 and pad y is 30. Okay, so this is our first label and first input field in our registration frame. Okay, and now we have to create one more label. Now we have to get name. Okay, name label, and then we have to use tk dot label. Okay, and we will copy all these values. Okay, here these are values. I have to copy all these properties along with their values. I will copy them, and then I will paste them here. Okay, and now I have to change text value. So here we have to get name. Okay, and I will go to next line, and here I will use grid layout name label, and then here I have to use dot grid. Okay, and then here I have to use row number, and I will use second row. First I will was using first row, and now I have to use second row, and then column. Okay, I have to use first column, and pad X I have to use 10, and for pad Y, sorry, 20. Okay, there I have to use 20, and then for pad Y, so you can assign values according to your requirement. So here I will use 30. Okay, now we have to create one more input field. Okay, so name, sorry, self dot name in. Okay, and then we have to create input field or entry widget, and this is our entry widget, and we have to copy all these values. Okay, and then I will paste them inside this function. Okay, and then I have to set its layout, and here I will use self dot name in dot grid. Okay, and I have to use a row number same as row number of name label, so 1. And now I will change column number, so I have to use second column. Here I have to use pad X and value 10 for pad X, and pad Y and 30 value for pad Y. Okay, so we have created two input fields with label, and now we are going to create one more label and input field. Okay, so we have to get subject sub label. Okay, and tk dot label, and now I will copy all this code. Okay, these properties along with their values, I will paste them here. Okay, and now I have to change here text value. Okay, so we have to get subject, and next I will go to next line, and here I will use sub label dot grid. Okay, and now I have to use third row third, and column I have to use first column, and pad X 20, and pad Y 30. Okay, and then I will go to next line, and here I will use subject in self dot sub in. Okay, and here we have to create input field tk dot entry, and here I will copy all these values from here, and then I will paste them right here. Okay, and now I will go to next line, and here I will use self dot sub in dot grid, and here I will use, sorry, grid, and here I have to use row property. I have to use second row, sorry, third row, and second column of third row. Okay, and here I have to use pad X, I will assign 10 value, and pad Y I will assign 30 value. Okay, so next we have to create a last widget, that is a button. Okay, button. Okay, button, and then we have to create button tk dot button. Okay, and now we have to create this button inside our registration frame self. Okay, dot registration frame. Now I have to set text for button. Okay, so here I will set okay, and then I have to set its border by using bd property, and I will give value 2. Okay, 2, and here I have to change its background color, so here I will use bg color. Okay, but I think yes, okay, I will use background color, and here I will set background color as gray. Okay, gray, and now I have to set its width. Okay, I will use width 20, and now I have to use font property, and then I will pass values in tuple, so font family Arial, and then I will set size 20, I will set it bold. Okay, now I have to use here grid layout. Okay, OK button dot grid, and we have to create it in fourth row. I will give value 3 for fourth row, and then here I have to use column, and then I have to create it in first column, and then I have to use pad x. Okay, so here I will assign value 10 or 20 or 30. Okay, and then I will set pad y. So here I will give value 40. Okay, so now this is our OK button. So I will call this function when our registration button will be clicked. Now I have to find our registration button. So this is registration button, and here I have to use command property. Okay, and I will call here function self dot registration function. Okay, and then I will use comma. So now I will save it, and then I will execute it. Okay, so this is our output, and now when I will click this button, so now you can see this is beautiful output. Okay, so we can add a gap between them. Okay, so now here you can see a problem. So problem is that our input fields or entry widgets are out of the frame. Okay, so we have to adjust them. So why is this problem? This problem is because of this button. Okay, because this is occupying a very large space in first column, and then uh, we are creating our second column. Okay, so here I have to change column number. This was created in second column. We have to create it in first column, and then we have to merge two columns. Okay, so I will close this, and I will close it also, and here for this OK button. So this is OK button. I have to use first column. Okay, and then I have to merge by using column span, and I have to merge two columns. Okay, so here you can also change foreground color. So I will use FG property. Okay, FG property, and I will set color white. Okay, white, and also I will use this property with this value in all labels in this frame. Okay, so I have copied it, and now I will paste it right here. Okay, and then this is our subject label, and now I have to paste it right here. Okay, and then I have to paste it right here. Okay, and now I think all problems will be solved, and then I have to go next. So what we have to do next? When this OK button will be clicked, then we have to insert all this data of student in our table in our database. Okay, so here we have to define an other function. Okay, define, sorry, define insert. Okay, or input, you can use anything. Insert, sorry, insert, because we have to insert values in our database. Okay, so this is insert function self, and then here we have to connect with database base, but first we have to get all values from user in local variables. Okay, so here I will use rn for roll number, and as you know, we have a roll number in our self, but it is integer type. Okay, so we have to convert it into integer. So here first we have to call this int function. Now we have to use self dot. So we have roll number in rn in variable, and then we will use get method to get value from input field. Okay, so you know that this variable exists here. Where is our rn? This is our variable. So we are assigning value from user by using this entry widget, and then we are assigning values in this variable. Okay, so next we are getting name, and we are assigning it in this variable, and next we are getting subject, and we are assigning in sub in. Okay, so now we have to get all these values. So our this roll number is integer type in our database. That's why we have to convert it into integer, because this input field or entry widget returns us a value with type string. Okay, so here we have to get name. Okay, name, and then here we have to use self dot name in dot get. Now we are not converting it in any data type because its type is string type in our database, and also this input field returns us value in type string. Okay, so next we have to get subject. Okay, and then here we have to use self dot subject in. Okay, dot get. So we are getting all information about a student. Okay, so now we have to insert all this information in our database. Okay, so now I have to connect with database. So I will use connection method. Okay, con, and then I will use py mysql. But here this is an error because we have to import this py mysql. And I hope you have installed mysql in your device. So here I have to import py mysql. If you have installed mysql, and but still when you are going to import it here, then it shows you an error. Then you have to execute one command. So here you have to open terminal and new terminal. Okay, and here you have to run a command pip. Okay, sorry, here I have to use pip. Okay, pip install py mysql, and in this way mysql will be installed with python. Okay, but I have installed it already, so I will not click enter key from my keyboard, but you will enter this command and then you will click enter key. Then you will able to use py mysql in your python project. Okay, so here we are using py mysql. Okay, and we have to connect with database. Okay, so here we have to pass some arguments. So first is host. So by default our host is local host. Okay, and then we have to use user, and by default our user is root, and then we have to use password. Sorry, password, and our password is admin, and then we have to use database name. So database is rec. Okay, and now we have to access cursor. Okay, from py mysql. So I will declare a variable cursor con dot cursor. Okay, so we are accessing the cursor, and then we have to execute a query. So first I will get a query. Okay, so here I will use formatted string. Okay, and here I have to use insert. Okay, insert, sorry, I have to use pair of double comma insert into we have to insert into registration. Okay, so we have to insert into registration, and then I have to define column names. Okay, into registration. So now I will define column names like this. So first column was our roll number. Okay, roll number I can see from workbench. So here first was roll number, second is student name, and third is subject, and fourth is total books. Okay, so I will minimize it. Okay, and then here I have to define columns. Okay, so here I will use parentheses. So our columns are, so I have to define first column, that is roll number. Okay, second column is student name. Okay, as name. Third column is subject. Okay, I think subject or sub, and third or fourth column is total book. Okay, total book. I will see from workbench. So here total book, sub, student name and roll number. Okay, so total book. Now I have defined name of all columns, and then we have to insert values. Okay, values. Here I have to define values. Okay, first value is so here I will use this because I have to pass values in tuple. Okay, so first value exists in our rn variable. Okay, and then here I have defined second by using this comma, and second is in name, and third is in our subject. These are variables that contains values gotten from user. Okay, so here I have to use sub. Okay, so this is sub, and then here I have to insert numbers of books gotten from this student, but still this student have no any book or not have reserved any book. Okay, so here I will use total book. Okay, total book, and then I will assign 0. So here I will use this last variable, that is total book. Okay, total book, and now we are inserting all values in our columns of our table with name registration that exist in our record database. Okay, so in this way we will insert this information in our uh, name of columns, sorry, table was registration. Okay, now we have to execute the query. Cursor dot execute, and here we will pass this query variable. Okay, that contains a query. Okay, and then we have to commit it. Connection dot commit. Okay, so in this way information of this student will be inserted in database. Okay, and next we have to print a message that student registered successfully. So here we have to use tk dot message box, but still we cannot use message box because we have to import it first to use it. Okay, so from tkinter, here I have to define name. So from tkinter import. Okay, then message box. Okay, now we can use this message box. So where is our message box? Here you can see this is message box. Okay, tk dot message box dot show info, show information, and here we have to set a title, that is success, and then here we have to print a message that student registered successfully. Okay, in library management system, in library management system. Okay, so this message will be printed, and then I will go to next line, and here we have to close the connection, and we have to close the cursor. So cursor dot close. Okay, and then I have to define pair of parentheses, and then connection dot close. Okay, so we have to close this one, and now here we are inserting this information in our table, but what will happen if we have any error in our query? Okay, so first we have to check that if, here we have to use if, that if all input fields are filled. So here we have to use if. So here we are going to get information. Okay, so if rn and name. Okay, if rn, I mean if roll number is filled or exist, or if name also filled, and then here I have to use name, and here I have to use and then I have to use name sub. Okay, and sub, then I have to make a space, of one tab here. Okay, so now this is if condition, and then here if all the input fields are filled, then this uh, process will be executed, and otherwise we have to print an error message. Okay, so here we have to use else. Okay, so tk dot message box, we have to use message box dot show error. Okay, and then I have to set title error, and then here I have to define error for uh, I can print that all reserve sorry fill all the fields, please fill all the fields or all fields. Okay, so this message will be printed if user is trying to skip any of input field. Okay, and here we should use try and catch block. Okay, so here I will use first I will select it, and then I will make a gap of one tab, and now here I will use try block. Okay, so try, and here I have to catch exception. Okay, so here I will use except. Okay, exception as e, and then here I have to use again message box tk dot message box, and then I have to use dot show error. Okay, so here we have to show an error, but first we have to set title error, and then we will use formatted string because it can contain string and value of variable. So here I will use error. Okay, and then I have to use variable, that's why I am using pair of curly braces. Okay, so now if everything is fine, then information of this student will be inserted in database. So now we will call this insert function in our this OK button. Okay, so here I have to use command property and then self dot insert function. Okay, and now I will save it, and then I will execute it. Okay, so now this is our output, and here I will click OK, sorry, register student, and then here we have to insert roll number. But what will happen if I try to skip this first input field or any other input field? Okay, so I will skip second one. So 101 is roll number, name I will skip it, and then I will enter subject English. Okay, so I will click OK. Now please fill all fields. Okay, or here I can type please fill all input fields. Okay, I will close it, and here I will insert name. Okay, name I will enter John, and then I will click OK. So we have any error. So unknown column John in field. So here uh, I have any problem in my query, so I have to see it. So I am trying to use a column with name John. Okay, I will close it, and also I will close it. Okay, and then I will close it also. So I am sure that I have any problem in my query, so I will remove query from here. Okay, and then I will execute it inside our execute function. Okay, so here I will use pair of curly brace, sorry, comma, double comma, and here I will use insert into. Okay, insert into registration. Okay, this is our registration column. I can see, is this with name registration? Yes, this is with name reg or registration, and then here I have to use columns name. Okay, so columns names were, first was roll number, second was our student name, third was subject. Okay, and last was total book, and then we have to insert values. Okay, and if we are trying to execute our query inside execute function, then here we have to use placeholders. Okay, so here I will use first placeholder. So this is modulus s used for placeholder. So first placeholder, second placeholder, and then third placeholder, and we have four columns: 1, 2, 3, and 4, and last placeholder. Okay, now we have to replace them with actual values in our these variables. Okay, we have to use them. So here I will use them. So these are more than one values, so I have to pass them in tuple. Okay, so first is a roll number, second is name, third is subject. Okay, so here this is subject, or I can say subject val, and then also here I will use subject val, and then also here I will use subject val. Okay, so now I will try to execute it once again. I will save it, but first I want to make a gap in our frame. So where is our this frame, registration frame, and now I will add some more value here. Okay, so here I will use 120. Now I will save it, and then I will execute it, and now here I will click this register student, and now here you can see this is a gap between them, and now I will try to insert this value once again: 101, name John, and here I will enter subject English. Okay, and I will click OK. So now error, not enough arguments for format string. So what is problem still? So error, not enough arguments. What is problem in arguments? I will see. First I will close it, and here I have to see what is still problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3. Sorry, here I have to use one more variable, that is total book. Okay, total book. So this is benefit of using try and accept block. Okay, otherwise we are not able to find the problem easily. Okay, so take a book. Now I will save it once again, and then I will execute it. Okay, so now I will click register student button, and 101, here I will change the name. So here I will use happy, and then I will enter subject English. Okay, and now I will click OK. So student registered in library management system, and I will click OK. Okay, so now I want to close this. If I will click OK button. Okay, so I have to create another function to destroy this frame. Okay, so I will close it, and now I will define another function to destroy this frame. Okay, so here I have to define this. So here I will use define keyword and destroy. So we have to destroy registration frame. Okay, destroy registration frame, and then here I have to use pass self, and then I will use self dot registration frame. Okay, so I have told you that I have to use this frame in any other function, that's why I have used self with it. Okay, otherwise we cannot use this frame inside in any other function. Okay, so self dot registration frame, and then dot destroy. So we have to destroy it, and now we have to call this function after this message. So where is our message? After this message. Okay, your student is registered in library management system. So after this I have to call destroy registration frame. Okay, so Next, I have to call this function also here. Okay, so self dot, here I have to use this one here. Okay, so when you will click OK on this show information message box, then your project sorry your this frame will be destroyed. Otherwise you have any database from sorry any error from database, and when you will click on that message box, then after clicking OK on that button, this will destroy your frame. Okay, and if you have this error, please fill all fields or input fields. Here I will use input fields. Okay, input fields. Then after this we have to we have not to destroy. Okay, then we have not to destroy the frame, because we have to give a chance to user to fill skipping input field once again. Okay, so now I have to make functional our next button. And also I have noticed one thing. I will execute it. Now you can see that here available books are not presented. Okay, so first we have to print all available books here. Okay, so I will click OK, click cross, and also here I will click cross, and here I will define a function. Okay, after this destroy, and here I have to define a function def. Okay, show book, show book, and then I have to use self, and then here I have to use this semicolon, and now we have to connect with database. So I will use this code for connection. So I will copy this, and then I will paste this here. Okay, so now here I have to use uh, a query, that is a select all query. Okay, so here we have to use cursor dot execute. Okay, and then we have to use select all from. Now we have to select all from library. Okay, so then here I have to fetch all this data in a variable. So here I will declare variable with the name data, and then here I have to use cursor dot fetch. Okay, fetch all, and now I have to insert all this value in our table. Okay, so first if we have any previous value, then we have to delete that value first. So here I have to use self, but first I have to call the function. So where is call function, our function, that is tab function. Okay, so we have to call here tab function, self dot tab function. Okay, so here I will call this tab function, and now here I will call self dot table. Okay, dot delete. Now we have to delete all data in this table. So I will use static for all. Okay, self dot, here I have to define the name of table, that is table, self dot table dot get children. Now we have to get all the children in this table, and then we will delete them by using delete method. So now we have to insert new value. So here I have to use for loop for I is local variable for this for loop, and then in, and we have to get all data in data variable. Okay, so here I have to use data. So this data will be assigned to this local variable I. Okay, so now we have to insert all this data into our table. So here I will use self dot table dot insert. Okay, now we have to insert, and then I have to insert, first I have to set a space, then I have to get the last value in our table tk dot end, because if we have to insert three rows, then when we are going to insert second row, and now we have to insert this second row after first row, that's why we are using tk dot end, that first get existing value, and then after that you have to insert new value. Okay, so here you have to use values property and then use I. Okay, so now I have to call this function show book here. Okay, so where is our frame, this frame? So we have to search our list frame. So this is button label with where yes, this is our list frame, and here I have to call this one. Okay, so self, okay, dot show book dot, sorry, not dot, pair of parentheses. Okay, now I will save it and then I will execute it. So now here you can see, but data is not inserted in this table yet. I will see what is the problem. So we have not shown any error. So we should use here try and accept block. Okay, I will select all this. Sorry, not this. Okay, yes, I have to select all this, and then I will give a tab space. Okay, and now I will use try catch block. Okay, try, and then here I have to use accept block. Okay, so here I have to use accept. Okay, exception as ex. Okay, and now we have to use tk dot message box dot show error. Okay, and then we have to set a title for this message box. So this is error, and here we have to set by using formatted string a string, that is first I have to print error and then I have to get actual error. Okay, so here I will use ex. Okay, and now I have to see that what problem can happen. This is our query. Execute, select all from lib, I mean library, and then we have fetch all the data, and then here we are assigning all information one by one in our table. I am not able to understand the problem, so I will try once again. Okay, but I will close the connection first. Okay, so here I will try to close the connection right here. Okay, so now I will close connection cursor dot close. Okay, and then I will close the connection con dot close. Okay, and now I will save it. Okay, and then I will execute it once again, and now here still I have not output here. I will close it, and also I will close it too. I think I have to use or I have to call this function after this tab function. Okay, so here I will paste it, and now I will save it and then I will execute it. So now we will see, now it is perfect. So these are books IDs and these are books names and these are their quantities. Okay, so this is book information, and now we have to make functional this reserve button. Okay, reserve book button. I will close it. Okay, and then I will close it also, and then we have to define another function. Okay, so next here I have to define another function here. Okay, so def, I have to use def keyword. Okay, and I have to reserve book. Okay, so here we have to reserve create a function with name reserve book. Okay, reserve book, and here I have to pass self as a parameter, and then we have to create a one more frame. Okay, self dot reserve frame. Okay, reserve frame, and here we have to create tk dot frame. Okay, and then sorry, tk dot frame, and this frame will be created in our root window self dot root And next I have to set its background color. I will use bg property, and here I will call color function self dot color. Okay, so this is very interesting to set background colors, and also you can set fg color, I mean foreground color, font color. Okay, so here I will use now I have to set 150, okay, and 280. Okay, so it will return us a new color. And then here I have to set border by using bd property. I will assign value 4, and then I will use a relief property. Okay, and here I have to use radius, and then this is border, and this is background color, and this is our property. Okay, sorry, border style. And now here we have to use self dot reserve frame function, sorry, reserve frame, and then we have to call place function. Okay, so first we have to define width. So here we have to get total width, or even we can copy this width from here. So where is our registration frame? This is registration frame. We can copy all this from here. Okay, so I will copy all these values with their properties, and then I will paste them here. Okay, sorry, I will remove this also, and then I will paste it here. So now this is our reserve frame. Okay, and next we have to create some input fields here. Okay, for example, first we have to get a roll number. So we will create input field and label for roll number. Okay, so we have created already these labels and input fields here. This is roll number label, and this is roll number in label. So I will copy this. Okay, I will copy this, and then I will paste this code right here. Okay, but I have to make some changes here. We have to use a reserve frame, not registration. Okay, here also we have to use a reserve frame, and other things will remain same. Okay, and even we will save same background color. Okay, so here I have to use same background color, that is 150, 200, and 80. Okay, so now here I have to get roll number, and then I have to get book name. Okay, so I will paste it once again. So now this is book label, bk label, and also here I will change this background color. So here I have to use 200. Okay, and then I have to use here 80, and then I have to change this title, text value for title. So this is book. Okay, because we have to get book name, and then other things will remain same. Only I have to change this registration frame, and then I have to save or use reserve frame. Okay, and even here I have to use a reserve frame, and then I have to change these names. Okay, this is book label, and then here we have to use book in, and also here we have to use here book in. Okay, book in. So now we have two input fields. One is book name, and other is student roll number if student is registered. Okay, so here we have to set OK button. Okay, so we have also OK button here. We can say this is OK button. I will copy this, and then I will paste it right here. Okay, and now here I will paste it. So this is OK button, but we have to change frame name. This is our reserve frame. Okay, and then here OK button and other things I have to change this command I will remove this command property with its value, and then its foreground color is white and other things will remain same. Okay, only I have to change row numbers. So here I will use this is correct, but here I will change this. Okay, second row number, and also this is second row number, and here this is third row number. Okay, so this is our OK frame, and now we will get this input field values from input fields. Okay, so now and then we will click OK button, and we have to define another function. But first I want to show you uh, the output of this function. Okay, this is a reserve book that will be called when our reserve book will be clicked. So where is our reserve book button? So here we will find this is reserve book button. Okay, now we have to use command property, and here I have to call self dot reserve book. Okay, reserve book, and then I will save it, and now I will execute the project to show you output, and after a small while this is output, and now I will click reserve button, and this is our output. So this is in fact very beautiful, and when we will click OK, then if student is registered, then book will be allocated to that student. Okay, so I will close this, and then also I will close this. Okay, and then here I have to make some changes. I have to increase padding for y-axis. Okay, so here I have to use large padding. Here I will use 50. Also here I will use 50. Okay, padding 50, and also here I will use 50, and then here I will use 50. Okay, and then here also I will use 50. Okay, so now we have to define another function to get information from these input fields, and then we have to compare this user entered roll number with our uh, saved roll numbers in database. Okay, so here a reserve function. So this is our reserve function. We have to use the reserve book and reserve. So def reserve function self, and then here we have to connect with database first. So I have code for this, so I will copy this code. Okay, control C, and then I will paste it right here. Okay, and now I have to execute the query, but first I will get roll number of student. Okay, so here self, but first I will create variable, then int. Okay, because we have a column with type integer in our database for roll numbers. Okay, so here I have to use self dot rn in dot get. Okay, and then I have to get this roll number, and then we have to get book name. Okay, book, and here we have to get book name. So self dot book in dot get. Okay, so now here I should use catch block. Okay, or try block, try, and then I will set it here, and then here I will use accept block. Okay, accept, and here I have to accept exception as e. Okay, and then I have print message tk dot message box dot show error, and then here we have to set title error, and then we will print error. Okay, by using formatted string error, sorry, and then I have to use this e to show you error from database. and here, or even it can return you error from Python. And next I will go to next line. Okay, now I have to use a query, and then I have to use formatted string. Okay, select. So now we have to select roll number first. Select a roll number. Sorry, we have to get name of student. Okay, as name. Okay, from registration where roll number. Now we are using where clause to filter this specific student from multiple students. Okay, so here I have to use this pair of curly braces because we are using formatted string, and here we have to use rn. Okay, and next I have to use here execute method by using cursor. Okay, cursor dot execute, and then I have to use this query. Okay, and this query will be executed, and this specific student name will be selected. Okay, and then we have to select this specific book from database, and we have to check that even if this book exists or not. So here I have to use one more query, query 2, and here I have to use formatted string, and then we have to select. Okay, so here we will select book name, or even we can use here book name. Okay, but for this we have to use here book ID. So where is our book? Here this is book label. So here I have to use book underscore ID. So we will get ID of book. Okay, so here I have to use, where is our query, select book name. Okay, be name from library where id, bid. Okay, I think this was the name of column book id. Okay, so this is book id, book id, and then here we will use, but first I have to convert it into integer because book id is integer type. Okay, int, and also here I have to use closing parenthesis. Now we are going to convert this book id into integer. Okay, and then here we have to use this id that is in bk variable. Okay, and then we have to compare first that if. Okay, and now we have to get this student name in a data, sorry, in a variable. Okay, so here I will get name as name, or student name std name. Okay, and then we have to fetch, sorry, not here, we have to fetch it right here. Okay, so here we have to use std name. Okay, and then, or simple I can define as td. Okay, and here I have to use cursor dot fetch one. Okay, now we have to fetch one, and then here I have execute next query. Okay, cursor, sorry, this is query 2, and this is cursor dot execute, and here we have to execute query 2. Okay, so this is query 2, and then here I have to uh, fetch book name. Okay, bk name. Okay, and here we have to use cursor dot fetch one. Okay, and here also I have to select quantity. Okay, so here book name and quant. Okay, so here we have to use quant variable. Okay, and also here we have to use total book. Okay, total underscore book. So we have to select these two columns from event table. Okay, so here this is registration, and this is from library. Okay, and next here we have to fetch this one, and also here we have to fetch this one row. okay, from database. And then so I will use here if condition, if std, okay, and here I have to use bk name, okay, then okay, otherwise we have to print message by using else, okay, else, then we have to print message tk dot uh, message box, okay, message box dot show error, okay, show error, and here we have to show an error. First we have to set title error, then we will enter message that invalid roll number or book id, okay, book id, okay, and then here we have to see. So this is else. Now we will go inside this if condition. Now I have to use if inside this if condition. Now this is nested if. If I have to uh, set book name. Okay. So, but I have to check available quantity. Okay. So now we have quantity in second index. In first index we have book name, and in second index we have quantity. So here we have to use second index. Okay. bk name, okay, so bk name and second index, okay, is greater than 0, then we can assign books. Otherwise we will print message by using tk message box, okay, sorry, tk message box dot show error. Here I will set error as a title, and then sorry mistake, and then here I will set title that this book is out of stock, okay, out of stock. So this message will be printed. So if uh, this is greater than 0, then we have to allocate a book to student. Okay. So first we have to update these two columns. First, total book in our registration table, and then quantity column in our library table. Okay. So now here I have to use second index, but first I will create table, sorry, not table, variable. So here I have to use uh, variable, okay. So here I will use student books, okay, or total book, you can say anything, total books, and here I have to get this index number, so of student, where is this total book, okay. So total book, not here, this is total book, where is variable, sorry, not to use this total book, we have to use second index of std, okay, std and second index, because in first index we have student name, and in second index we have total books, okay. So second index of std plus 1, okay, and then we will update it. So here I will execute the query, but first I will create query 3, okay, query 3. So here I will use formatted string update, okay. So now we have to update the table registration, and we have to set total, okay, total underscore book, and then we have to assign new value that exists in total books, okay, total books, and then we have to execute this query. So cursor dot execute, and now we have to execute query 3, okay. So this is query 3, and we have to commit it, okay. Now we have to commit, there is con dot commit, okay, and then we have to update column in quantity of uh, library table, okay. So now we have to type another query, query 4, okay. So here we have to use formatted string and update Now we have to update library registration, table, okay, and set quant. But first we have to calculate new quantity. Okay, so we have quantity in our second index. Okay, so here I will use vk name. First I will declare variable. Okay, so remain or rem quant, remaining quantity. Okay, and then here I have to use this book name. Okay, and second index of this book. Okay, and then we have to minus one book from this total books. Okay, and now here we have to execute use this query. So update label set quant, and here we have to use uh, here a pair of curly braces, and then we have to insert new value by using a remaining quant variable. And now we have to filter this. Okay, so here we have to use where clause to filter a specific student. Okay, where, sorry, we have to use this out of this curly brace. Okay, where, and now we have to use roll number, and then we have to use roll number that was gotten from user in rn variable. Okay, so here I have to use rn. Okay, and also here we have to use where clause, where, sorry, where book id. Okay, book id, and here we have to use this variable name that contains book id. Okay, that is bk, I mean book. So here I will use, where is our query, here I have to use uh, bk. Okay, so update library set quantity column, and now here we are assigning new value where book id is user entered id, and in the same way we are updating total book column in the registration table, and here we are filtering a specific student with this roll number. Okay, and then here we have to print message here, right here. Now we have to print message that book reserved successful. Okay, so I will use tk dot message box, and here I have to show info, and now I have to set title success. Okay, and then here I have to use formatted string, and now I will say that book, I will set book name. Okay, book, and here I have to use book name. So book name is in our book 1 or book 0. This is in our first column. Okay, so b name, I mean book name, and first index of book name. Okay, book name, sorry, there is okay, name, and then here I have to use first index. So here we will print name of book, and then we will say for student, and now we have to print name of student, and we have name of student in our std, first index of our std. Where is our std? So here you can see this is std, and we have s name in first index of std. Okay, so here I will use std, and here I will use first index. Okay, so now book reserved, here I have to use reserved, reserved for student, and here we will print name of student. Okay, and then here when we are going to update it, then we have to use commit method. Sorry, yes, we have to call commit, and then con dot commit. I have to use this commit here. Okay, but sorry, still we have not to execute the query. So here I have to use cursor dot execute. Okay, and then here I have to use query 4. Okay, and now we have to commit this query, and in this way, after this we have to print this message, and now we have to update our table in our list frame. Okay, now I have to use query cursor dot execute. Okay, and now we have to select all information from data, sorry, registration, not library table. Okay, so select, okay, all from library. Okay, and then we have to get this value in a variable. Okay, so new val, and then cursor dot fetch all. Okay, and now we have to insert all these values in our table, but first we have to delete previous values in our table. So self dot table dot delete. Okay, dot delete, and here we have to delete all children. Self dot table dot get children. Okay, and then we have to delete them, and after it we have to insert all these new values in this table. Okay, so here I will use for loop. Okay, for loop, and then I have to use j as a local variable, and in now new val. Okay, and now I have to insert these new values in our table. So self dot table. Okay, and then here I have to use insert, and now I have to insert these values, but first I have to get a space, then I have to use tk dot end. Okay, and now I have to use values, and then I will assign j. Okay, so but first I have to call function. Okay, so here I have to call self dot tab frame. Okay, tab function, sorry, tab function, then we can use it. Okay, so after calling this function, we are deleting all information in this table, and then we are assigning new information in this table. Okay, and after all, we have to define another function to destroy this frame. Okay, so here we have to use a def keyword. Okay, def, and we have to destroy, what is name of this function, reserve function. Okay, or a reserve frame, and here I will use self, and I will use some, sorry, column, and now I have to use self dot reserve frame. Okay, reserve frame dot destroy. Okay, and now we have to call this function uh, destroy, sorry, destroy reserve frame function. Okay, so we have to call this function right here. Okay, so when all process is completed, now we have to call this function new val execute, and after it, here we have to call the function right here. Okay, so its name is self dot reserve. Okay, destroy, sorry, destroy reserve function. Okay, or frame, and here I have to call this function. Okay, and also if we have any error, then also we have to destroy this. Okay, so I will just call this function, call here, and also I will call this function here. Okay, and now I will save it, but first I have to call this function, reserve function. Okay, on this OK button. Here button, here I have to use command property, and then I have to call this function self dot reserve function, and I have to use comma. Now I will save it, and then I will execute the project, show you output. So these are our available books. Okay, and these are total quantities of our books. Now I have to reserve a book. Okay, and but first I will register a student. Okay, so here I will enter 1 2 3 4 and name. I will enter name. So here you can use any name. For example, I will enter name Peter. Okay, and then here I will enter subject English or math or biology. Okay, here I will use biology. I will click OK. So student registered library management system and his roll number is 1234. I will click OK. Now our frame is destroyed. Okay. Now I have to reserve uh, a book. Okay. So here I have to enter uh, student's roll number. So I will click incorrect roll number. Okay. And here I will enter book ID, that is correct ID. Okay. I will click OK. So invalid roll number or book ID. Okay. If this is destroyed and now I have to reserve it once again, and here I have to enter correct roll number. Okay, and then correct id of a book. So here I will enter 103 and we have total quantity 5 for this 103. I will click OK. So book computer reserved for student Peter. Okay, so its quantity was 5 and now we will say that what is remaining quantity. I will click OK. So now you can see this is 4. Okay, so now remaining quantity is 4. So now we will book this and now we will reserve this same book once again. And what will happen if all books are reserved? Okay, so 1 2 3 4 and here book 103, click OK. This book is also reserved and now quantity is 3 and now I will reserve once again. Okay, 101 2 3 4 and book 103. I will click OK and this book is also reserved and now its quantity is 2. And then I will reserve one more book for the same student and its quantity is 3103. Okay, and I will click OK. And then here you can see now available book is 1 and now we will reserve it once more. And here I will enter 1234 and then I will click id 103 and I will click OK. Okay, now all books are reserved. Now what will happen if I try to reserve this book once again? 1 2 3 4 and here I will click 103 and I will click OK. Now this book is out of stock. Now this book is not available because now quantity is 0. Okay, so now we have to make functional our this return book. Okay, so I will close it and then I will close it also. And then here I have to define another function. So I will define function. Okay, here def by using def keyword. Okay, now we have to return. So this is return function. Okay, self, and then here I will use a column. And now I have to create one more frame, but I have everything here. Okay, so because in this reserve book, we are using a frame, we are getting roll number and also we are getting book ID and then also we have a book OK button. Okay, so I will copy all this code. Okay, and then here I will copy this and then I will paste it right here in this new created return function. Okay, so I will paste it here. So now I have this frame. Okay, so reserve frame and it is inside this. Okay, so now only I have to define new function. Okay, so I will remove this command property with its value. Okay, so I have removed it. Now I will define new function. Okay, here I will define new function and then we will able to return book to library management system. Okay, so define, okay, return book, ret bk. Okay, so this is function, and here I have to pass self, and then I will go to next line, and here I have to connect with database. Okay, and I have all this process here, so I will copy this existing code. Okay, and then I will paste it here. Okay, where is our return book function? Yes, this is return book function, and here I will paste it. Okay, but first I will get roll number and book name. Okay, so here I will go to next line, next column, and here I will use rn roll number, and here I will use the same process. I will remove this, and I will copy this from here. Okay, so we have done all these things. I will copy this. Okay, and then I will paste it right here. Okay, so now after pasting these values or code, and then now I have to execute a query. Okay, so now I have to run a query, but first I will create query. Okay, query, and I will use formatted string. Okay, select. Now we have to select b name. Okay, book name, and here I have to set quantity. Okay, select book name and quantity. Okay, from library where. So I have to use where clause where. Now I have to define book ID. Okay, book ID is equal. Now I have to use this bk. Okay, bk. Then I have to fetch this book. Okay, so I will use row book. Okay, row book, and then I have to, but first I have to execute this query. Okay, cursor dot execute, and now I will execute the query like this. Okay, and then we have to fetch row. Okay, cursor dot fetch one. Okay, so we have to fetch one this row. Okay, and now we have to update the book. Okay, so now we have to get book ID. Okay, and then we have to update it. Now I have to set condition that if. Okay, if raw book, I mean that if this book exists. Okay, then else I will enter. Sorry, I will use else. Okay, here I will use tk dot message box dot show error. Okay, show error. Then I will set error, and here I will use error that invalid book ID. Okay, invalid book, invalid. Okay, and then here I have to use, and also I can get student name. Okay, and then we can use both conditions in the same statement. So here I will execute one more query. Okay, query 2, and here I will use formatted string select. Okay, select as name and total book from lab. Okay, and then here I have to use from registration. Sorry, registration table where student roll number is equal. I have to use rn. Okay, so in this variable we contain user entered roll number. Now we have to execute this query. Okay, so cursor dot execute, and then I will use query 2, and then I will go to next line, and I will fetch student. Okay, row std std, and we will fetch one row. Okay, cursor dot fetch one, and then here I can use both condition if book and raw student. Okay, raw student, I mean that if both student name and book is valid, then here I will print, I will do some process. Otherwise, I will print error message that invalid book or student ID. Okay, and then if it exists or student ID and book ID is correct, then what we have to do here, we have to return the book. Okay, so we will increase quantity of book and we can decrease total book in our uh, registration table. Okay, so here I will use uh, variable for student. Okay, so here std book. Okay, and now we will use this variable, sorry, and this column, second column number for student row std, and we have in second index number. Okay, so this is second index number for total book. Okay, so we have to minimize one book. Okay, and then we have to add one book in our quantity column. Okay, so book quantity, book quantity, and here we have to add. So if this exists in our row book. Okay, row book, and in second index. Okay, so here I have to use second index, so I will use 1. Okay, and then plus 1. So now I have to update the column. So here I will execute query. Okay, so now here I have to use another query, query 4 3, sorry, query 3. So here I will use formatted string. Okay, so update, and then I have to update the column, which is, where is our column? First I should update quantity column. Okay, update library. Okay, set, now we have to set quant column, and then we have to set new value that exists in std book. Okay, sorry, book quantity. Here I have to use book quantity because we are going to increase quantity of book. Okay, so here I have to use where clause, where book id is equal. Now I have to use book id that exists in bk. Okay, and then I have to commit it. But first I have to execute the query cursor dot execute, and here I have to use query 3. Okay, so this is query 3, and now I will go to next line, and then here I have to use code dot commit. Okay, and here I have to commit it, and now I will go to next line, and then I have to create one more query, query 4, and here I have to use formatted string, and now I have to update. Okay, update registration, and then set a total book. Okay, total book, and now I have to use std book. Okay, std book, and then I have to use where clause. Okay, where roll number. Okay, roll number is equal, and now I have to use the roll number gotten from user. And if all this is successful, so here I have to execute the query cursor dot execute, and here I have to use query 4. Okay, so this is query 4, and then I have to go to next line, and then I have to commit it on dot commit. Okay, and then I have to print success message. Okay, so now I have to use tk dot message box dot show info. Okay, so now we have to set title success, and then we have to use formatted string. Okay, so now I have to use book, and I have to use here name of book that exists in our first index of row book. Okay, row book. So here I have to use book row book and first index of this row book. Okay, so this will print book name and then this book returned, okay, from student. Okay, now we have to print student name. Okay, so here I have this in std. Okay, row std, sorry, row std. Okay, row std. So this is row std and first index of row std. Okay, so this message will be printed and then we have to destroy this function or the whole frame. Okay, so I will call destroy function here. Okay, so here I will call the function that is self dot destroy this reserve frame. Okay, because we are using same frame name, that's why we will call the same function name. Okay, and now we have to call this return book by clicking this OK button in our this frame. Okay, so there command property and then I have to use self dot return book. Okay, so now I will save it and then I will execute the project, and after a small time these are our existing books. Okay, so now I will click return book because we have uh, tested all these two buttons and now we have to click here. Okay, return, but sorry, it is not working. What is the problem? I will close it and I have no any error. I think I have to call this function. Okay, so I have to call, and sorry, I have to update our table also. Okay, so here we have to update our table. Okay, so here I will update the table. So now I will call, but also I can do this here. Okay, but I think this is perfect place. So now I have to call self dot tab frame. Okay, tab frame. But first I have to use query. Okay, so here I will use query cursor dot select, sorry, execute. Okay, execute, and now we have to select. Okay, sorry, I have to use pair of double comma and then select. Okay, all from library. Okay, from library, and then here we have to use uh, variable data and we will fetch data cursor dot fetch all. Okay, and then I have to go to next line and here I have to use uh, another function that is self dot tab function. Okay, we will call this and then we will delete all existing values in this table. Okay, so self dot table, okay, dot delete, and we will delete all information in this table, and then we have to delete self dot delete, sorry, table dot get children. Okay, and then we have to use for loop here. Okay, for, and then I have to use I, and then in I will use data. Okay, and then I will go to next line and here I have to insert all these values in our table. So here I will use self dot table dot insert. Okay, and we have to insert all these values after tk dot end. Okay, tk dot end, and then we have to use values and then I. Okay, and then this message will be printed and then we will destroy our frame. Okay, so now we have to call this function where this is return and this is return function. I think this is return book. Okay, return book, and this is return function, and we have to call this return function here. Now where is our return button? So we have to find our return button and then this is return button. Here we have to use command property and then here we have to use self dot return function. Okay, a return function, and then I will use comma, and now I will save it, and then I will execute the project once again, and now this is output. Okay, and here I will use return book, and now here we have to enter roll number 1234. Okay, and we have to enter 103 book ID. I will click OK. So book computer returned from student Peter. I will click OK. So now you can see now a quantity of computer book is 1, and now we will return more book. Okay, so because this student have multiple books, that's why we have to return from this student. Okay, so book number 103, I will click OK. Okay, so this book is returned from Peter, and now quantity is 2. And when we want to reserve book, then quantity will update it. I will try. So I will click reserve book, and here I will enter 1234, and now I will enter again 103, and I will click OK. Now book computer reserved for student Peter, and here you can see this is again 1. Okay, so now this is updating. Also we are updating data in our database, and then we are updating information in our this table. Okay, so this was all about library management system in Python Tkinter using MySQL. I hope this video will be very helpful and easy to understand for you. If you liked the video, then please share with your friends and class fellows. And if you have not subscribed our YouTube channel, then please subscribe our YouTube channel right now. Thank you.